smarter and cuter and more wonderful, and she's certainly richer than I am. So she's a great person. She and I have had a team for 21 years. We started teams when nobody had teams, and we failed forward and failed backwards and failed sideways and failed in every way I could. When I discovered the Red Book, I discovered the proven franchise model for the real estate agent team to work. And when I discovered that, everything changed. Our lead buyer specialist, 8 years. Lead administrative person, 7 years. Most of the team has been with us more than 4 years. So stability is real when you follow a model and you do the right things. When you follow models and systems, you can have high success. I say that up front because all of you have seen teams that got started and implode. 6 months, a year, and then they start, and then they implode. Has anybody seen this? I want you to know there's nothing weird about that. If you go to the SBA and ask them about small businesses, what % of small business startups are still there 3 years later? 10%. 90% are gone in 3 years. Building a business requires a model. A small business has to be started right, or it's going to cave in. So it should be no surprise that the majority of agent teams that get started implode. All small businesses do that because they don't follow models, right? So we're here today to talk about how that model, that Red Book model, applies from the very beginning, from starting your very, very first team. And the only reason they asked me to do it is because I made all the mistakes and I can speak with veracity on this stuff. Okay. All right, here's what we're going to cover today. No big deal there. Myths and excuses. Number one, I'm doing fine on my own. The hardest job in real estate is a single agent who's succeeding. You have to do everything. Is that true? Yeah. Okay. How is it that you succeed? What allows you to succeed? Leverage. Well, what allows you to succeed is being good at your craft and getting repeats and referrals. Is that true? Well, guess what? When you're busy, what happens to customer service? See, when you start up, you have great customer service because you have plenty of time, because customer service is about responding to people in touch. So you start getting more and more business, and suddenly you have less and less time. The busier you get, the worse your customer service gets. They call you 10 in the morning, they don't hear back from you till 7 o'clock at night. It's horrible customer service. If you're doing well, you are not doing fine. Your customers and future business are suffering because of your success. That is a challenge that every single agent has to face. You've got to build customer service into a success platform. Number two, I can't afford one. Nonsense. They're very, very cost effective. Every business there is grows by hiring people. It's foolish to think it costs money. It makes money. Businesses hire people and make profit on that. And that is what will happen, again, if you do it right and follow a model. Number three, my clients expect me. I have heard this so many times. Well, I don't know how I could tell somebody, no, it's not me. I'm going to send somebody over to you. Let me tell you something. What people expect from you is performance and service. And if you provide that, performance and service, they love you. They love you. We've had a team again for a long time. Today, last year, 2011, our business was 71% repeat and referral. My wife and I see almost nobody. And they call up and they take who we send out because they know they're going to get what? Performance and service. They're going to get it. They're going to get it at a high level. That's all people care about. Don't get confused about that. It'll take too much time. Hiring people gives you time. It's the biggest myth there is. It doesn't take time. It gives you time. We'll talk about training later, but if you train people well and quickly, all of a sudden you're gaining a tremendous amount of time in your life. Now I want you to think about this. NAR's research says an agent's life is 60% administrative work. 40% is lead generation and sales. If you can get the 60% off your plate, how much more productive can you be? But even if you got 20 hours off your plate, that's a 50% increase in available hours for you to succeed. Your productivity will go up 50 hours. Even with part-time work, people can get success. Don't get confused about this. I don't have time to train anyone. Again, nonsense. 1 hour training gives you 30 free hours in the next 90 days. Don't get confused about training. Most of admin work is fairly repetitive. Would you agree? It is simply the same task over and over and over. Is that right? How much time does it take to teach somebody, here's how I put up the sign. Not like this, I put it like this. The brochure box goes here, here's a lockbox, you put it on like this, here's where I go get my key made, I put it in there. Got it? Now if you do 30 listings a year, that takes an hour driving around doing all that, that's 30 hours in your pocket. Everybody see that? Most of this is very quick. We're wired now? All right, you're the man. All right, let's see, it's too risky. Nonsense. You know what's risky? Being a single agent, having a solid income, relying on that income, and then getting sick, and you can't work, or other issues pop up in your family, and you can't work, and because you're alone, there's no one there to answer and service clients. Your business is gone quickly. That's the riskiest thing there is being all on your own is risky. Missing excuses again. You like doing administrative work. Who likes doing admin work? Woo! I thought so. Not one hand. My goodness. Okay. You only want to do what you can personally handle. Nonsense. You like to be in control. Ridiculous. I'm serious. If you like to be in control, you would raise your hand when we asked about the admin work. Okay? You don't like it. We're talking about agents, obviously. You don't like taking a break. You don't want to earn more, blah, blah, blah. It's all ridiculous. You get it. Reasons to have a team. Move to mastery. This is underappreciated. This is underappreciated. If you really want to make a lot of money and not work a lot of hours, you have to find something that you can master. Master. And when you master it, you'll work the least amount of time and make the most money. As long as you keep any of that 80% work, you keep that admin work on your plate, any of it, the time spent on those tasks is time not spent perfecting something that you are hardwired to do at a very high level. When I became the listing specialist and all I did was listings, I got so good, I'm not trying to brag, but I got so good, I was doing 2 appointments a day, list at least 1 property, that's 10 appointments, 5 properties a week. It was 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the afternoon, and I was done. 150 properties a year. I was done. But the point is, if you do that many, how many times have you heard the same objection? I mean, I had a pocket full of answers for any objection. And I smell it walking up to the door. I see the issues before they become issues, and I head them off. Mastery is defined as what? Time on task over time. How many hours does it take to become a master at just about anything? This has all been studied, by the way. Say it again. 10,000 hours. 10,000 hours. What is 10,000 hours? Well, it's 3 hours a day, 3 hours a day for 10 years. 3 hours a day, 5 days a week for 10 years. Do the math. But suppose you got all the admin off and you're working 8 hours a day on the masters. Well, we just cut it down to 3 years. I'm a master in 3 years. You want to make a lot of money? Put a lot of property up for sale. A lot of property. Okay, provide great service to your clients. The fundamental issue in great customer service is if I call you and I'm your client and it's 10 in the morning, the phone rings 3 rings or less, someone answers the phone who will help me immediately. Y'all get that? Higher-minded client service is you never have to call me. I know what you need before you know you need it, and I'm going to call you right before you're going to realize you need it and tell you, I know you're going to call me tomorrow about this, but I think you should know right now, blah, blah, blah. Y'all get that? That is my wife's standard. Rebecca believes on our team the definition of great customer service is a client never has to call in about anything. When they're calling you, you are not giving great service. They had a need, you weren't paying attention, they had to reach out for your help. Okay, think about that. Move beyond your ceiling. A single agent can only work so many hours and have a quality of life. What is Keller Williams' vision? What is our mission statement? I'm sorry. What's the mission of Keller Williams International? My goodness. Careers worth having, businesses worth owning, and lives worth living. Okay? That is our mission. This beyond your ceiling, having a career worth having would mean what? It would mean that you make at least 3 pots of money working by yourself. And that would be money to fund your lifestyle, money to get out of debt, and money to make investments for your future. If your career is paying you that, then you have the option to move into owning a business. What happens in a business? You make even more money for all three pots in less time, and you give better customer service. And you don't have to be there for that money to show up. Okay, grow your overall potential. I hear this all the time. I don't want to be responsible for managing people. I don't want to do it. It's a hassle. You know what? It is a challenge. It is a challenge. It is difficult. But people are your way to success at a high level. People. Working through others. Have you heard this before in KW? Anybody heard this in KW? This is every now and then, right? Success through others. When you learn to work through people, you have mastered the highest skill in life to help them get theirs and also get yours. That is a wonderful thing. Push yourself. Own a business worth owning, and again, focus on your life. What is your life worth living? If you're a single agent and you're succeeding at a high level, I know you're working 50, 60, 70 hours a week. You make a lot of money, but you ain't got a life worth living. You do not have a life worth living. If you tell me, oh, I love my work, I love what I do, you know what? I feel the same way. I really do. But you know what? I love my wife more, and I love my children more, and I love my parents more, and I love my friends more, and I love my community more, and there are lots of things I love more than work. Wake up. Get a life worth living. All right, signs to know you need a team. If you're throwing leads away, if there are people you're not calling back, knowing you're not calling them back, knowing you can convert it because you're just too busy, that is a bad sign of your management. That is your bad management sign. If you're doing $10 an hour work, if you want to make $100,000 a year in real estate, how much is that an hour? $50 an hour. You cannot make $50 an hour doing $10 an hour work. It is impossible. It will not happen. You have to be doing $50 an hour work, and that is mean use your license. Okay. All right, so now I've got you thinking you might want to do this. We're going to look at the 4 models and how they relay into building a team, how they relate to building a team. I'm going to try to get through all the material and have room at the end for questions. It's a big group. So be thinking right now about the questions you want to ask, but please, short questions, not 2.5 paragraphs of what happened to you, because we got a lot to get through. Here's the economic model. Now we're picking a number here. The idea behind today's program is a 5-person team. 5-person team should do at least 100 transactions a year. 100 transactions a year. Now, if your average sale price is $200,000, that would be $20 million, and that's what this model is based on. If your average sale price in your market is below that, if it's $150,000, you'll need to do 130 transactions. The income will be the same, but you got more work to do. You have more activities you need to do. You have to do the math for your own location. So we're assuming this: 200,000 with an average sale price of 3 means 600,000 GCI. We're not setting commissions here. Everybody understand that? This is purely an example. 100 sales, 50% buyers and sellers. Why 50-50? Well, we're going to have buyer agents, but why 50-50? The 1-for-1 rule, right? If you're getting listings, you should make those give you other deals, and that's a 1-for-1 rule. That's why you get buyer agents, to capture those, to do open houses, to door knock. That's why you do that. Our assumption is 66% conversion. Many of you experienced agents do far better than that. You sell far more than, we sell about 85% of our listings, even in a tough market. But I'm assuming a negative number here. That would mean 150 listings. You need to close 100. And we're also assuming you're not taking all of your listing appointments as listings. And I'm going negative again. That's 230 appointments. How many is that a week? They're all talking once.
1 week.
That's 5 a week, 1 a day, basically. 1 listing appointment a day. The person that builds a 5-person team needs to build up to 1 listing appointment a day. What do they do with the rest of their time? Run the business. They run the business. They're holding people accountable, doing training scripts and role-play system development. You're a business owner. You now spend time on systems and training and people. Okay? All right, that's pretty straightforward there. So let's move on here. All right, 50% of the database is where you get your business. Now we're making an assumption here that is not at all cut in stone. Just like the Red Book gives you a model for what top agents do, this is a model for where successful small teams are winning in the marketplace. But if you're getting a lot of business from seminars, keep doing seminars. If you're getting it from door knocking, keep door knocking. But here's what we know. Successful agents get the bulk of their business from repeat and referrals. Is that true? Is that true? Yes. Is that special to us? No, that's true for all businesses. When Friday's Restaurant opens up for lunch, do you think the people going there have never been to Friday's, or most of them have been there many times? Do you think they go, hey, I'm going to Friday's for lunch, why don't you come with me, and drag somebody from work? That's a referral. Macy's, do you think the people that walk in the door have never been to Macy's? Do you think your doctor has all strangers every week, or is it a whole bunch of people he's seen before? Y'all follow me here. All businesses are built on repeat and referrals, all of them. So here's a tip. If your business is not 50% repeat and referral or more, you are dropping the ball. You don't understand what you need to do to have predictable income. Predictable income comes from repeat, and referrals mean at least half your business or more. Does that make sense? Okay. 25% from Web 1.0 and Web 2.0, static websites, social media. Edge has created this for a lot of agents who had no web business. They're suddenly getting web business. Raise your hand if you're getting web business off Edge. Y'all look around the room. If it ain't happening for you, look around the room. Figure it out. It is happening. That conversion rate, web conversion, is 0.1%. 1,000th of the amount. 225,000 visitors. You should capture 25 sales out of those visitors. It's a numbers game. This is not a lead gen class, but think about how to make that happen. By the way, how do you make that happen? Admin. That is all admin work that creates that. That is not licensee work. That is admin. Daily blogging, daily responding to email inquiries, daily Facebook postings. That is admin driven. Okay? 25% farming. Now I'm using farming here. Notice it says farming targets. If you're working FISBOs and you're doing an 8x8, that is farming. If you're working expires, that is farming. Farming means going after business with a targeted group of strangers with a periodic touch campaign. That's farming. Geographic farming is the most classic, so I use that example. That's a 2% conversion. So we got 25 sales from farming, 25 from web strategies, 50 from my sphere, 100 sales a year. Has everybody got that? Yeah. Is it cost effective to use the web for lead gen? Very. And what about farming? Very, very cost effective. Okay, so you'll be well within the budget. Okay, let's talk about the budget model. $600,000, $300,000 on the buy side. What does the book say you pay a buyer agent, the Red Book? 50%. So our cost of sales on that side is $150,000. That'll be for 2 buyer agents. Do you believe I could get 2 quality buyer agents for $150,000? That could be one at 80 and one at 70, or one at 90 and one at 60. I don't care how you cut it. That's good money. And remember, agents think about money as a single agent, and they got to take out all their overhead and have expenses and responsibilities. A buyer agent does 5 things only, and they have no overhead. So an agent is making 60, 70, or 80 is the equivalent of a single agent making 100, 120 and covering everything. Y'all get that? That's, you got to think about how that sells. 300,000 on the selling side. Now this is going to catch some of you. The person who builds the 5-person team stays the listing specialist the whole time they're building this team. That job and the model will be how many listings? The dollar volume? 300,000. What does the Red Book say you pay a listing specialist? This is not a trick question. In the book, remember, it's $100,000 on a 1.2 million GCI. That's under 10%, correct? I believe you're going to need to pay somebody more than that to be a listing specialist, but 10% to 12% is the proper number. So $300,000, what's the pay for the listing specialist? $30,000. Now some of you think, what? I'm not taking $30,000. I'm not going to do that. You know what? If you did 1 listing appointment a day, 1 a day, how long does it take you to do a listing appointment? What's the prep time? The CMA, how long does it take you? 30 minutes? If you're good, 30 minutes. If you're not so good, an hour. If it's more than an hour, you need to go to the CMA class. I mean, right? Okay, hour at the appointment, you got a couple hours in it. Right? We're talking one a day. That's 2 hours. 2 hours a day, 10 hours a week. This is big money for 10 hours a week, $30,000, right? If you worked a full week, that'd be 4 times that, or $120,000 annual salary. Y'all follow me?
Yeah.
Oh, that's to pay for a full-time listing specialist in the Red Book. Y'all see that?
Yeah.
That's the number. You're part-time. Here's the problem on most small teams. The top agent is overpaying themselves for certain work tasks. They're overpaying themselves. And if they're overpaying, what is the money that they're overpaying with? If I'm paying myself too much as the team leader of a 5-person team, where is that extra money coming from? Profit. Business profit. What is the purpose of business? To make a profit. And what is the purpose of profit? There are 2 purposes of profit. Reward the shareholder that built the business, started the business, owns the business, or grow the business. And that's called retained earnings for growth. Is that right? When you pay yourself too much, you rob the profit that could fund your growth. Therefore, you hear this. How's it going? Oh, I'm busy. I'm really busy. You can't believe I'm busy. Have you seen my new BMW? Man, I'm hitting it out of the park. Well, why don't you hire some help if you're that busy? Well, I can't afford that. Well, go out there and ask the BMW to make copies for you. Because that's your full-time admin person that'll cut you back from 70 hours a week to 35 hours a week. And you spend it on a car. Y'all get that? That is the challenge of understanding growing a business. If you're lucky enough to make a business that grows, you must understand the profit that business makes is for growth, not to line your pockets. Not to line your pockets. All right, that's pretty clear. 12% is the Red Book number for admin. With our model of 600,000 GCI, that's $72,000 for 2 admin. Could I get 2 admin in most markets for $72,000? Yes, I could. I could get somebody who's real darn good and they could have an admin assistant, or I could get 2 people who are pretty good, depends on your local market. But that is a number that will absolutely work. We'll talk more about who they are and what they do. Whoops, I'm sorry. And then lead gen, 10%, 60,000. Can you generate some leads with 5,000 a month? Yep. If you can't, you're doing something wrong, right? How much pay-per-click would 5,000 a month buy me? Holding on sugar. Could you generate some leads? I want you to understand, this is plenty of money. Plenty of money. In fact, you don't need to spend that much money to generate enough leads to do 100 deals a year. You don't. You need to spend enough money to generate 50 great listings that sell a year. The buyers will show up off of those. Y'all follow me? You don't need to worry about that. All right, so here's a summary on the budget. 600 at the top. Cost of sales was 200. 200. Operating expense was 200. The take home for the agent who built the team is the 200,000 plus the 30,000 salary for the listings, or $230,000. The model in the Red Book said 30% cost of sales, 30% operating expense, 40% gross profit. Right? Is that correct? That's net $1 million out of 2.4. Well, if you add up the 200 to 230, that's about 40% of the 600,000 GCI. The difference in the Red Book, that's a 7th level model where you're a business owner and all that money that you make is only profit. Right? Here, you're actually working in the business in addition to being on the profit side. If you really want to analyze it a little further, you could probably hire the admin a little less, and because you're the administrative manager as well, you're paying yourself a salary for admin as well. Everybody hear that? Okay. All right, the organizational model. The team leader has got 2 jobs, listings and being the CEO. Being the CEO means primarily what? Getting into business with people and holding them accountable. That's what CEOs do. CEOs in companies bring great people to their company and then hold them accountable to do their job. They don't do anything else. They don't build cars on the line. They don't punch out things on a production line. They don't do anything but people business. That's what you do. And then you do listings. When you need admin help, you get the systems and operations and budget manager first. So that first hire, a lot of you, this is why you're sitting in here today, is to talk about this. The first hire is not a buyer agent to take some of these leads I've got. It is not. It is admin. It is admin. The minute you bring on a buyer agent, you're going to add the volume significantly. If you're lucky and you have a good person who's talented can work, right? Is that right? Well, if you have double the amount of admin work and nobody's assigned to admin work, where does that work go?
Your wife.
Well, I wouldn't want to be you tomorrow. It's Valentine's Day, baby. You're going down bad. That's double roses, double chocolates, double everything.
Double diamonds.
I got to tell you, this issue, if you're trying to grow your business and you're serious about it, you got to understand, if you want to do volume, you better have systems in place, or you will do a horrible job for some people and a great job for others. And that means a lot of times you're just putting out fires because you failed to call them, you failed to deliver the brochures, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. A sign for this is if you have those 2:30 a.m. bolts straight up in bed. Oh my God! You're all laughing because you've all done that, right? Oh my God! Oh my God! That's a sign you don't have good systems. You should go to bed comfortable, everything was taken care of, not bolt out of the bed in the middle of the night. The first person, again, does the systems, design, and implementation. Most agents do not have good systems. Where do you get systems? MREA, a lot of you know about the Red Book, but you've either forgotten or don't know that there are 8 training manuals attached to the MREA program. They add up about this thick. And one of those is the systems manual. It tells you how to design and develop and build systems. There's a manual for the listing specialist, for the buyer specialist, for the marketing person, for systematizing lead generation. There's everything right there. You do not have to invent it. When someone joins our team today, we literally hand them the book. You're now the buyer specialist. Here's the book. You're to read the book. This will be a book club assignment, and we will talk about a chapter every single day until we get through the book. That's how you're going to start. Chapter a day. First week is learn the book, learn the role. That's your role. When you start to invent your own role for them, what happens to system development? It's funky, funky, funky. And you start doing one thing with one client, and one thing with another client, and all of a sudden people are all over the map until you start getting dropped in the grease again. Here's a higher-minded idea. What is the purpose of a transaction? Why do you help a buyer buy or a seller sell? To get a referral. That's what all businesses see, right? Anybody been in a restaurant where you got a bad meal and the manager walked over and took the meal off your bill and gave you another meal? Right? And smiled and said, "I'm so sorry, I just want to make it right." Why is he trying to do that? So you come back. Okay? The goal of a transaction in any business is to get that person to come back. So think about this. What is the purpose of a system? To give uniform customer service. Until you can give uniform customer service, your performance will be erratic, repeats will be erratic. A lot of you don't get good referral rates because you don't perceive this, but because you are irregular in your customer service. Some get great, some get average, some get dropped in the grease. You want everybody to be treated the same. What is the definition of a system? The simplest definition. It is written. It is written. Here's our new listing folder, Smith Street, listed at the Wilson family. Great. Here's the system. There's 15 steps in the first 2 weeks, total of 38 steps from the first day of the listing till the day of closing. I know exactly what I'm going to do for that family. It's all laid out. Boom, 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 boom. That's a system, but it has to be in writing. How many of you have this kind of detail in your business? Most of you don't. Understand, if you're busy, your customer service is erratic, and you're not getting great referrals directly because of that. Directly because of that. The second person that you hire, it doesn't say it specifically here, the second person you hire is the lead gen person. Another admin. Yes, another admin. 2 admin before you get that buyer agent. Why is that? Any of you seen teams that bring a buyer agent on and after a month, 2 months, 3 months, the buyer agent leaves, says there wasn't enough business? or the leads weren't that good. Anybody seen that? If you want to get a talented person to work buyers on a team, you better have the ability to generate serious income for that person or they will leave. You've got to have that pipeline running first. Then you bring them on. Okay? Then you bring them on. In our model, it was 3% a deal, $200,000 average sale price. How much commission per deal? $6,000. What was the total cost for the admin side? $72,000. How many deals do I need to do to break even on admin? 12. 2 people. 2. Do you believe if you had 2 people, one in charge of systems and budgets and planning, and one purely in charge of lead gen, posting on Facebook, blogging daily, calling all your past clients, checking up on the customers, being all on top of it, do you believe out of that you might get 1 more deal a month? If you can't, you are one special kind of agent. But do y'all see this? To think this doesn't work is just foolish. It works. It works in the dickens it works. All right. So, when you need help with buyers, there's this term, showing assistant. A lot of you have heard Gary talk about this. The Shift actually has created this. In the heyday, in 03, 04, and 05, there were so many buyers running around trying to buy stuff, we all could have used some help, right? But nobody did it because everybody was greedy. When things got tough, prices fell, volume fell, fewer deals going down. You have to show more property and get fewer deals, is that right? And yet there's less income, right? So this idea about having a showing assistant popped up because it allows your buyer agent to leverage to others to do more deals in the same amount of time, okay? What is the pay for a showing assistant? 25% of what the buyer agent gets. And that might be shared between the team to some degree. In other words, the team could kick in 10 out of their 50 and 15 out of the buyer specialist 50. This is negotiable. Do y'all understand that? What would be the driver for that? Your average sale price. How much money is that person making? If you're in a 100,000 or less market, it's going to be really tough to make the numbers work easily. You can make it work, but it's going to be a lot of units. Y'all follow me here? Oh, the truck's in. Okay, the showing assistant can grow into a buyer specialist. Now that's a model that is happening right now live in our industry. In other words, you bring on that buyer specialist first, and then bring on a showing assistant for them when they get to 2 or more deals a month every single month. 3 deals a month is the target, often for getting a showing assistant for that person. Our lead buyer specialist is clocking over 50 deals a year, and she's ready for a showing assistant. She and I were talking about it today, as a matter of fact. She was talking very firmly about it, as a matter of fact. But her goal is to do 100 transactions a year with 1 showing assistant. I love that girl. Okay. If you do bring on a buyer agent, understand again, they have to make a set amount of money or you're going to lose it. That set amount of money should be discussed up front and you need to do the math on it. But in terms of proven models, a buyer agent needs to produce 2 closed deals a month or more every single month or you've got the wrong person. Y'all hear that? They only have 5 job duties, and if they cannot close 2 deals a month or more, you have the wrong person on the bus. 3 is exceptional, 4 is rare, 5 is almost unheard of. It's done, but in most teams that's almost unheard of, but it can be done, okay? All right, we talked about this. Now this is the top part of the 7th level chart. And this clearly demonstrates what we said. You hire an assistant first, not a buyer agent. It says here to use the RSTLM. Who has had RSTLM, or at least RS? Awesome. If you're sitting in the room and you're ready to hire, and you have not had RS, that is the next thing you do, and you do it before you hire. I flew out about 2 months ago, I flew out to Dallas and took it again. And that was my 5th time I've taken it. And I have hired over 200 people. And I'm telling you, you need it. And you need it again, and you need it again. 1 is not enough. Why? Because mastery is time over task over time. Every time I take it, based on my experiences I've had up to that point, I have a new aha about the process. And every time you take it, you'll get better and better at it. The minute you start hiring people, your business is people. It is not real estate. At that point, it is not real estate. It is people. Because if you can't make that work, the real estate won't happen. Y'all follow that? You hire an admin person, your first admin, and everybody calls, "What? I'm busy." Your business is going to dry up. Y'all get this. You've got to really get this. The minute you make that hire, that is now your number one job. And the number one tool we know for that job is RSTLM. Have I been clear about this? Okay. All right. Okay. Assistant job duties, their goal is to get to 80% off your plate. That will not include, however, lead gen. Writing ads, marketing is still going to be the lead agent's job. That is a vision thing. And if you hire the person to do system development, what is their likely personality profile? SC or CS? It says it on the screen there. You can cheat if you want to. It's SC or CS. What is that person like? Is that often a deadpan person? Is that often a person who hears a joke and says, "What? I don't get it. What's funny?" Y'all get that? This is not someone who does marketing. They get the facts. They don't get the sex about marketing. They don't get the sizzle. Y'all follow me here? This is not the person to do your marketing. So that profile, though, means what? That profile means that they like to go in their office and close the door and turn on the computer and come out 8 hours later. If you go and interrupt them, they go, Is this true? Now, most agents hire somebody like them. I just hired the new one. You can't believe her. She's so awesome. We had so much fun. We talked for 3 hours. It was just awesome. So it's all warm and fuzzy in the morning, and then you walk out that door to go off and meet your clients. So what do? They're looking for somebody to talk to. First thing. And it's not because it's deliberate. It's who they are. They're going to go get a pencil or get a cup of coffee and go, "Oh my God, you look so great in that. Where did you get your hair done? Where did you get that? Was it on sale? Is there a Facebook page for that? Show me." Is this true? Ladies and gentlemen, this is true. That's not deliberate. That's not mean. It's just who they are. I want somebody in that system role who loves to close the door and work on systems. They love it. If you hire the right person, they will often come in on Monday morning and tell you, "This weekend I was online. You can't believe the new chart I've got for tracking our lead conversions. It's unbelievable." I'm sorry you worked on the weekend, but show it to me. Right? All right. They also define and implement your tools. Here's a big, big, big issue in today's world. That person, your first admin hire, has to be more computer and internet literate than you are. This person needs to eat the web. They need to look at your stuff and go, "Your stuff is bad." Really? What should I do? I'm dead serious. This is a job interview issue. Give me 10 suggestions for my website. Give me 10. If you can't give me one, I'm that person already. I don't need me. I need better than me for my technology. And in today's business climate, these people are tech savvy. The right ones that you're hiring, they're tech savvy. And of course, that is going to define your office tools. Okay, lead gen is still your job, marketing is your job, but if the admin, the bulk is off your plate, what are you free to do? Lead generate, but what do you mean by that specifically? Talk to people. Talk to people, whether it's door knocking or phone calls or pop buys, you're going to spend your time talking to people. And you better make clear about that in your head. That is what I'm hiring this person to do, is to get me out of 3 hours a day lead gen into 5 hours a day lead gen, 6 hours a day lead gen. I'm either on appointments with buyers and sellers, or I'm talking to people to find people to get appointments with. You got to get real focused on that. If you spend your time in the office, you are defeating the purpose of hiring that person. If you're going to stay in the office, just do the work and don't hire anybody. Y'all get that? You don't need anybody. And they don't need a buddy. They don't like people, remember? Okay. Where to get them? I hear this a lot. Where do I get them? The number one best source is Sphere. Your Sphere knows the person you're looking for. How you find them is create a missing persons report. In the manuals, in the MREA manuals, there are hiring guides, and there is a missing persons report for every role. A missing persons report is not a classified ad. It is not a job offering. It is someone I'm looking for. I could list all the tasks of the first admin hire. Got to be good with Excel, got to be good with all Microsoft full suite, got to know how to do a budget. I could list all that. This is the job I'm looking for. That doesn't tell me who I'm looking for, right? Do you want them to have a college degree? Do you want them to have years of experience? Do you want them to be web savvy? Are they on Facebook a lot? I'm looking for someone who loves to be on the web. That's different than saying understands the internet. A lot of people understand the internet. They don't get it, but they understand it. Are y'all follow me here? Create a missing persons report. You email that out to your Sphere, and the headline says, "Thank you for my growth. Due to your efforts to help me grow my business and serve new clients, I am looking for someone to join my team. Here is their description. Have you seen this person? If so, call me immediately. Call me immediately." The people who refer you business are the most likely people to bird dog hires for you. Does this make sense? Nobody else is going to help you more than those people. That's where you go. You'll also get honest, candid feedback. Craigslist, it works. I will tell you this. We have seen very uneven results. It's about the ad. You got to be very careful how you write the ad. You get some great results, and I mean like 2 people versus 100 people. Same position, different way you write the ad. Newspaper, job search engines, it's not up there, but if you're at a higher level, you might consider an agency to help you find the right hire. Talented people are never out of work. The person you really want to hire is typically not looking. When you're only dealing with people responding to ads, you're dealing with people who are the least desirable people in the best company to keep. Y'all get this? Now granted, in this economy, there are great people whose companies have folded and they're available. But in general, even those people can make one phone call if they're talented, they get another job. Their competitors, now that they're under, I'll hire them in a heartbeat. Is that right? So just understand that. That's why the missing person strategy is so powerful. I'm not asking you to tell me who's looking for a job that you know. I'm asking you, who is this person? Have you seen this person? I'll pitch them, but you tell me who they are. And I'm going to go weave an opportunity in front of them, right? Okay, post a hiring ad. There's some details here. Use the missing persons report. Salary, be specific. You have a budget. Do not say salary based on experience. They'll want $80,000. I'm serious. You'll get people who just have a pedigree and they're worth it, but that's not in your budget. You state, here's the budget. Voicemail, very important trick in this economy. The last hire we made, we had over 100 applications. Over 100 applications. If you put your voicemail number, your phone number, do you want to deal with that? No. If you say, bring your resume to my office, do you want to deal with that? You actually want to start screening right up front. Put a voicemail number. Say, call this number. You don't tell them in the ad or in the missing persons it's a voicemail. Just call this number. Here's the number to call. And when they call, they get a message. Hi, this is Gene Rivers. Thank you for responding to my opportunity. Tell me something about yourself and why you feel you're perfectly qualified for the position. After that, email your resume to GeneRivers@KW.com. GeneRivers@KW.com. Thank you so much. Now, I just gave them 2 tests. The first test is, you understand, they can hang up the phone and write out what they want to say and practice it and then call back, right? If they're serious about the job, you think they might put a little energy into this? But if you get, oh, hey, yeah, yeah, you know, I'm looking for a job, and I saw this thing, this ad thing, and, you know, I'm your man. What can I tell you? If that's all the thought they put into getting themselves a job, imagine what they're going to do to your clients. Just imagine how poor the communication will be with your clients. You want to hear somebody that's clear, maybe a little humorous, somebody who's a little fast-paced, because I want energy. I want to hear some speed in that tempo. I want to hear the kind of person that when they now are between me and my clients and my potential clients, that person has the capability of reaching that phone and hooking them. Y'all get that? I got to hear that. Good phone is the #1 thing you scream for, because they are your communications director. Good phone. So the second test was to email the resume to me. I did not say fax it. Yeah, I'm just calling back. I realized you said email. My computer's on the fritz right now. I need a fax number. Delete. That is not the person that I'm going to hire. But I'm serious. That level of resourcefulness tells you all you need to know about this person. Y'all get that? This is the person that will come to you with every problem they have. The copier broke. What should I do? Call the copy company. I'm just saying. There's a little sticker on it with a number and a sir. Ah! Y'all get this? I want resourceful people. I also do not want people to figure out who I am and where I am and bring their resume to the office. That is overreaching. That person says, it doesn't really matter what you say to me. If I think there's a better way to do it, I ain't going to ask you. I'm just going to do it. Oh no, you won't. Oh no, you won't. But y'all follow the thinking here. These are significant tests. These aren't minor tests. These are pretty significant tests for me. When you get the resume, what should you look at? What's the #1 most important thing? Hello? Stability, there you go, stability. The most important thing, I've done this a lot, and I'm not proud of how many mistakes I've made, but I think I'm learning slowly and steadily. I would tell you, when you look at a resume, skills are great, references are great, everything looks great. Current job, they're there a year and a month. Job before that, 2 years. Job before that, 1.5 years. Job before that, 3 years. Job before that, 2 years. They will do that to you. I do not care what the excuses are. I do not care why they moved a lot. I do not care. They will do that to you. Y'all hear that? They will do that to you. That person is able to get in a position and stay there and work a certain amount of time, and then either they get bored or they start to just feel like it's work, and they will move on to greener pastures. What do we call that? E to P. As the E to P. They'll play that out on you. They'll get frustrated. They'll think it's going to be easier than it is, and they'll get frustrated. Job stability is a big issue. Again, we talked about skills. The communication assessment. If you take RSTLM, you will do an in-depth interview. One of the main purposes of the in-depth interview is to learn about them in depth. But another main purpose is to hear how well they can communicate ideas and concepts and answer to conflict resolution. I want to hear the way you think. Somebody calls up and is screaming. What do you do? What do you say? I want to hear that. What do you do? What do you say? That is a very big deal. Organization, it usually shows up in their resume, in their phone messaging. I can hear whether you get organized or not. You organize your thoughts before you leave a message. Your resume is very clearly laid out instead of very confusing and no timelines. You see this stuff. Tech tools, you must have a tech test. If you're hiring that first admin person to run your tech, when they come to the office, you've screened them, you're going to have a technology test. On this computer, it's loaded with the full Microsoft Office suite, which you said you're very, very, very confident at. I want you to find a picture called Smith Street. I want you to load it on a flyer called Brochure for Open House. I want you to pull down the Excel spreadsheet that says monthly budget. Print all that up in black and white and in color. And I'd like you to do it in the next 15 minutes. Thank you. You'll find out real quick if this person is really comfortable on a computer or not. Y'all get this? You've got to do this. If they don't have that... Oh, you like that, huh? That one works for one of you. All right. Okay. If they have trouble doing that, then you become the computer trainer. All right? You now still own your job. Here's some simple do's and don'ts. Use the disc, use the AVA. If you really want to be careful, use the AVA. Explore their past, present, and future. Everyone has a life mission, whether they closely examine it or not. They're trying to get somewhere. When you hire somebody, your challenge is to find out, where are you trying to go? Here's where my opportunity runs. I can take you so far towards your ultimate goal. There will be a point where we will not be able to stay on the same track. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it. But I want you to get yours. I want this to be a launching pad for you to get yours. My challenge is, if you can help me get where I want to go, maybe I can become the opportunity for you to get your big time deal. But I want you to know, I am not here with this being all about me. This is about you, and it's about me. But it is about you, not just me. So I want to know, where are you trying to go? How far are you trying to build your life? And how can this help you get in that path? If you don't get connected like that, you will not understand what motivates them and what drives them, because it's not always money. Is that right? It is not always money. You got to know that other stuff. But what does the Red Book say? You're only 3 hires away. And when you hire that first admin, what do they end up running? An $80 million business with a staff of 6 to 10 people with big responsibilities but big reward. Y'all get that? So this person, if they have a dream, you can build a platform for them. But they've got to be part of the solution. Look at this, do not. Do not hire on the spot. Do not hire on the spot. Oh my gosh, she's awesome. I hired her. She's incredible. Did you check references? Tomorrow. You will find out about people. You will find out about them. You can find out after you hire them or before you hire them, but you will find out about them. Y'all hear that? Our suggestion is, before find out about people. I wanted to mention this on the do. Set expectations. Why do you need to set expectations? Because you should have standards. What are standards about? Customer service. Standards are about customer service. I have a standard that the phone will be answered in 3 rings or less. Is there anything unclear about this? So I make it real clear. 1, 2, 3. Better answer the phone. Any questions? Any questions? I have a dress code. If you show up at work not dressed correctly, and the reason for this is my buyers and sellers will come by the office to pick up papers. I want you to be as professional looking as possible. So I have a dress code. If you do not follow the dress code, when you get to work and I see you, you will be sent back home, and the rest of the day is off. If you choose not to come in tomorrow, I'll know you've resigned, and I'm okay with that then. But I'm serious about this. What's the difference between a suggestion and a standard? Consequences. Standards have consequences. If you don't uphold the standard, there is a consequence. Guys, you have to lead by example. And you have to hold people accountable to what you say you value, or they won't value what you say you value. And then your business is going downhill. Okay, know your priorities. This is about training them and taking care of them daily. Priorities. Everyone on your team should be able to tell you, today, there are 1, 2, or 3 things I'm trying to get accomplished. Today, there are 3 things, 2 things. I got a big 1 thing. But what is your goal today? Oh, I got all this stuff. I'm just trying to get caught up in everything. No. Give me the big things you're trying to get done. Big things. And then know what you want done daily. That means they have to calendar and list. They have to have a list of things they're working on, and they need to give you a calendar that says, here's what I'm doing for the 8 hours I'm here today. This is when I do this. This is when I do this. 9 to 10, I call all sellers with a weekly update report. 11 to 12, I contact all the buyers via social media, or whatever it is, but it's all mapped out. When it's not mapped out, what will they do? Whatever they want. Will that necessarily be your 20? No, it won't. Okay, train them. Everyone that joins our team reads the Red Book. Everyone reads it. They're told very clearly, this is what we're building here. This is who we are. Read it. Read it again. Rebecca actually has a book club every year on the Red Book. And we have people, again, been with us for years. They're going through the Red Book for the 7th, 8th time they're going through it as a book club reading. Why is that powerful? If you're building a small business, people that join your team could have a tendency to look at what you're doing as your kind of little thing. It's cool, it's hip, yeah, I'm working with this small thing. When you read the Red Book and you say this is where we're going, and they see it's basically like a franchise model, and it's all mapped out, they're part of a vision that's much bigger than your little thing with your little office and your 3 people. Y'all follow that? It's very powerful for people to grab a hold of your vision of where you're trying to go, what it looks like. It's extremely important. That's called culture. Okay, the operations manual, that's very clear stuff. KW, they got to go to the board and get trained, shadowing you. It gets easier. The very first hire hires all the other admin hires and manages them, all the others. The only time that changes is when you realize they're not talented enough, and then you'll hire somebody that they will fold under, or if their ego won't let them, they'll exit. But when you realize you do not have the talent you need, you must replace that person. Okay. Okay. All right. This is that lead gen hire. When you hire the lead gen hire, what's their profile going to be? This is showing a system, but it's the same hire.